Periyava Sharanam, Glimpses from Sri Mahaperiyava's Life History, Volume 5, Chapter 13, Continued. Sri Shailam Trip, 1934. Sri Shailam is a holy city about 215 kilometers from Hyderabad, the capital of Andhra Pradesh. It is located on the banks of river Krishna in Nallamalai Hills of Kurnool district of Andhra Pradesh. A Sanskrit verse on Sri Shailam reads as follows: Sri Shailam Shringe Vibudhati Sange Tuladri Tungepi Muda Vasantam Tamarjunam Mallika Purvamekam Namami Samsara Samudra Setum. Sri Shailam is considered as Dakshina Kailasham, Kailash of the south. In ancient scriptures of Skanda Puranam and Bhagavatam, reference is made to 12 Jyotirlingams in India. The locations of these Jyotirlingams are spread across the country in various states as follows: Somanathar, Saurashtra; Vaidyanathar, Maharashtra; Naganathar, Maharashtra; Vishwanathar, Uttar Pradesh; Ramanathar, Tamil Nadu; Omkareshwar, Madhya Pradesh; Trayambakeshwar, Maharashtra; Kedareshwar, Uttarakhand; Grishneshwar, Maharashtra; Bhima Shankar, Maharashtra; Mallikarjuneshwar, Andhra Pradesh; Mahakaleshwar, Madhya Pradesh. Mallikarjuneshwar, a form of Lord Shiva, is the main deity in Sri Shailam temple and one of the 12 Jyotirlingams. In this temple, the Sthala Vriksham, sacred tree associated with the place, is called Arjunam in Sanskrit and Marudamaram in Tamil. There are two other holy places in India, both in the state of Tamil Nadu, that have Marudamaram as the Sthala Vriksham. One is located in Thiruvidai Marudur, referred earlier, also called as Madhyarjunam, and the other is at a place called Pudarjunam in Tirunelveli district. The name of the goddess in Sri Shailam is Brahmarambikai. Brahmaram is a Sanskrit word that refers to a bee. Since Shiva bears the name of Mallika, meaning jasmine, we can visualize that the goddess is in the form of a bee hovering around the jasmine flower. Sri Shailam is also one of the 18 Shakti Peethams referred to in the scripture of Devi Bhagavatam. It is said that during Adi Shankara's travel around India, he visited Sri Shailam and had darshan of Mallikarjuna Mahalingam. In support of his visit, there is a shlokam verse from Shivananda Lahari, a devotional hymn composed by Sri Adi Shankara. Sandhyarambam Vijrumbhitam Shrutishirast Saprema Bhramarabhiramamaskrit Sadvasana Shobhitam Bhogindra Bharanam Samasta Sumanaf Pujyam Guna Vishkritam Seve Shri Giri Mallikarjuna Mahalingam Shiva Lingitam. Briefly, the meaning of this verse is as follows: one who dances during the twilight of evening, one who blossoms like a flower, one who resides in the Upanishads that form the crest of Vedas, one who is adorned by the bee named Brahmarambika, fondly devoted to him, one who wears the snake as an ornament, one who is always endowed with Sattva Guna and is worshipped by the Devas, one who is hugged by the Ambika and called Shiva. I prostrate to that Mallikarjun Mahalingam of Sri Shailam. The meaning of this verse is explained by many scholars in different ways. The shlokam is one of Mahaperiyava's favorites. Many devotees have heard Mahaperiyava singing this shlokam in his sweet voice while worshipping Shiva. The Devi's temple is located separately on one of the corridors of Mallikarjun temple. The shrine's holy water springs from a spot called Patala Ganga, also known as Krishnaveni. Devotees take a dip in this water by climbing down some 900 steps and trekking a distance of about 2 miles. All the three well-known Shaivite saints, Appar, Sundarar and Sambandar, have composed songs on Sri Shailam Shiva. In those days of 1934, Sri Shailam was not easily accessible. Devotees generally visited Sri Shailam during festivals like Shivaratri. However, Mahaperiyava desired to complete his Ganga Yatra quickly and decided to travel by boat over the Karnool-Kadapa canal. Accordingly, Mahaperiyava left Kurnool on January 24, 1934 and travelled by boat, halting en route at Pagadipala, Nagaluti and Peddacheru to visit Sri Shailam. From Peddacheru, he climbed a steep mountain called Shukla Parvatam and had darshan of Mallikarjuna and Bhramarambika on January 29, 1934. Mahaperiyava was so happy in having the darshan of Shiva and Ambar that he sang joyfully in the temple the hymns of Shivananda Lahari and Bhramarambika Stotram composed by Sri Adi Shankara. As there was a lunar eclipse the next day, Mahaperiyava went down to Padala Ganga where a camp was set up for conducting Chandramaulishwar Puja. The next morning, Periyava climbed up about 900 steps to have darshan of Sri Mallikarjuna again. He stayed in Sri Shailam for one more day. Following the same route by boat, Mahaperiyava returned to Kurnool on February 6, 1934. Moving further, Mahaperiyava reached Alamburi town on February 12th, Shivaratri day. At this place, he had a dip in the river Tungabhadra and darshan of Sri Bala Brahmeshwar. Until February 21st, he travelled through some neighbouring villages. Chenchu tribals help. The Chenchus are an aboriginal tribe mostly living in the Nallamalai forest and central hill regions of Andhra Pradesh. Their traditional way of life has been hunting and gathering forest products like honey, fruits, roots and vegetables. Chenchus were a community of well-built tribal people with skills in archery. They spoke a unique Chenchu language. Generally, they would not permit strangers to come into their hills and would attack them with bows and arrows. However, when the Chenchus learnt about Mahaperiyava's visit to Sri Shailam, a group of about 100 of their people met with Mahaperiyava at Nagaluti and promised to help him travel safely through the hilly terrain. True to their promise, the Chenchus safeguarded Mahaperiyava and his entire group from wild animals and helped move all the cargo over the hills. Though financially poor, they refused to accept any money for their services. The Chenchus had a tradition of entertaining their respected visitors with tribal dances. They expressed a desire to perform before Mahaperiyava and sought his permission. Though the Mutt officials were not happy at this request from the Chenchus, Mahaperiyava, who was always kind to his devotees, graciously agreed to watch the Chenchus dance. The Chenchus were very pleased at this gesture and danced beautifully as per their tradition. Mahaperiyava too was happy, provided food to them and gave them Vibhuti Prasadam and blessed them. Hyderabad state welcome. Crossing over the Tungabhadra river in Kurnool, Mahaperiyava moved through Jallapuram, Anantapuram and reached the town of Katwal. In those days, Katwal was a small territory within the state of Hyderabad ruled by Nizam. Katwal was ruled by a queen. On entering Katwal, Mahaperiyava was received by the Queen of Katwal with royal honours. After a stay of 4 days in Katwal, Mahaperiyava travelled through several towns and villages such as Krishna Agraharam, Atmakkur, Kottakotta, Chinnajanampeta, Jadjarla and Pettajanampeta, eventually reaching the city of Hyderabad on March 12, 1934. The citizens of Hyderabad had earlier formed a reception committee with Diwan Bahadur Aravamuda Iyengar as its leader. The committee had already made all arrangements to receive Mahaperiyava and his successful visit to Hyderabad. On the evening of March 12th, many prominent citizens of the city, including Raja Ram Roy, Vaman Nayak, Shyam Rao Tukaram, Rangadam Bhatt and engineer Nataraja Iyer along with thousands of others received Mahaperiyava with Purna Kumbham and other honours in the outskirts of the city. Mahaperiyava was then taken in a procession led by the Hyderabad Nizam state troops around the main streets, eventually reaching Raja Roy's palace called Lakshmaneshwara Bhag. Vaman Nayak, a prominent citizen of the city, explained to the audience about Mahaperiyava's Ganga Yatra and appealed to the citizens of Hyderabad to extend all assistance to Mahaperiyava. Mahaperiyava stayed at the Lakshmaneshwara Bhag Palace in Hyderabad until March 24th in 1934. Periyava Sharanam.